All right. Hey, what's happening? How's it going? Hey, yeah, how's it happening? Hey, Ranger, what's up, my buddy? Oh, you're all wet. Yeah, you wet. It's wet Wednesday. Yeah, it's wet. Oh, shit, my bumpers. So, hello. How you doing? Welcome in. What's up, Native Engine? If you spank your monkey, I think that's a problem. Yep. What's up, my buddy? Oh, hey, there we go. The Lost Thursday ghost.
Yeah.
What's up? Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I got some I got tomatillos in the ground. I got my peppermint in the ground in the pot.
yeah, it's too wet today to get anything done.
And my serrano chilies, I just watered them. I'm gonna plant them in the morning, I think. Early.
Hey, oh yeah, yeah, Jimmy. I've stopped watching stupid people in the MSM. Yeah, it is a clown show. Fucking psycho circus. But yeah, it's too wet. I cut up the potatoes thinking I was going to go out there and went out there. And if I mess with it at all, it just becomes a clump of mud. So yeah, I'm not messing with it. I'll wait for it to drain out till after the rain stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, my potatoes and my onions. I still gotta.
Mm.
Yeah, I know. It just seems like awful boring not watching the clown show thing. Kind
The
of.
clown show?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been watching Funker 530, I think it's called. I've been watching that. Just kind of following what's going on over in Ukraine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he did an upload. He had some some guys, some Ukrainian soldiers dancing, kind of like taunting the Russians.
Right.
They're doing a dance about the drone they've been blowing the crap out of Russian tanks with these drones.
Yeah.
So they could fly the drones out there and blow them up, and fly them back. Go, blow up 5 or 6. They are actually working right on par with artillery, really. In fact, that I think drones are cool as a prior service artilleryman myself. I think drones would be an excellent way to do forward observing, which we didn't have in my day.
Right. I mean, recon on those. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could send out a drone and get your grid coordinates and the whole thing where you want to send it to. The drone will do all your calculations. We didn't have that luxury.
Right.
We didn't even have GPS at the time. But you know what? There's going to come a day when they're going to need us again, I think, if I don't die before that happens. But they're going to need us because some of us actually know how to do stuff without all that technology. Sometimes low tech is better.
Yeah. I just had a really blah blah day. I didn't do much, raining off and on. Every time I'd sit here for an hour and it wouldn't rain, I'd get up to go outside and start raining. I come back in, sit down, and stop raining. So I was just like, okay, this is a sign.
Native
I,
Ojibwe.
huh?
Native, Jimmy Kirk and Native Ojibwe are in the chat.
Yeah, yeah,
That's cool. That's
yeah.
cool.
I said hi to him.
Hello.
Figured you heard
I'm
me.
saying hi to them too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But
I'm unplugging from most everything. I mean, eh, the only thing I really kind of care about is a little humor and just to kind of stay updated on Ukraine. I just want to. I've been seeing live footage of Ukraine, real live footage.
yeah, I haven't been paying attention to any of that really.
Well, you know, I think Ukraine is actually uh, being a testing grounds for a bunch of new technology that's being unleashed because the drones, the Turkey, they got their drones from the Turks. They're built by the Turks. I
Oh,
can't remember what the name of it is. That was what they were singing about. These drones they got from the Turks. Well, we actually handed it to the Ukrainians, but they were built by the Turks. And these drones are blowing up their freaking tanks, blowing up Russian tanks. Yeah. I'm like, that's pretty cool, actually. And there's Ragged. How you doing, Ragged?
hey, Ragged Coin, how you doing, buddy? But the plants are doing great. They're loving the rain. They're not getting flooded out. You know, it's not raining enough to really uh, flood anything out. It's just keeping everything wet. But yeah, the garden's doing great. I'm really happy with that. It just makes me kind of blah. I can't get shit done that I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
So, since Bobo is an ass monkey, I wonder if he's going to get monkeypox.
And Bubba's an ass monkey. What?
Bobo Biden, Bobo the ass
Yeah,
monkey.
yeah,
I'm wondering if he's going to get monkeypox, being a monkey and all.
probably so. What's up, Zoom? Oh, thank you, Ragged. That's Ranger. Yeah, that was Ranger. He wants to go back outside.
Huckleberry wants a link.
Oh, there's my Huckleberry. All right, there you go. Yeah, about as close as I come to watching news is Tucker Carlson and headlines from, you know, OAN, Fox.
Well, Ragged, I think all you got to do is stay away from ass monkeys, and you'll be fine. Yeah, exactly, Platoon. The ass
Yeah,
monkey is going to wind up getting monkeypox. I'm sure of it.
bunch of monkey fuckers. Ugh.
Anyway, my connection is not good tonight, but maybe it'll warm up or
Oh,
something. And
no, yeah, I'm sitting back. I was sitting back and it gets a little weak.
oh,
Sorry about that.
yeah.
But yeah, I got about, I got, here we go. Huckleberry, what's going on, Huckleberry?
So you
Hi,
got
Wiz.
eggs.
Hi,
Oh,
Ghost. Hey, Wiz.
hello. Hi, Huckleberry.
Hi, Ghost. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, I think.
Good.
I think
How
I'm
are you,
doing
Wiz?
pretty.
I'm kicking ass and, well, not so much today, but taking names.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Ragged. Hey, Zoom.
Kimmy,
Is Kimmy coming up?
I don't know.
She could.
She can come up. She says she's doing okay, but she's got too much water in her bee.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what the bee's supposed to be, but I would say body, something like that.
So, what's up with you, Ghost?
oh, I got some zucchinis planted and some tomatoes and some tomatillos, and
What's
tomorrow
that?
I'm gonna tomatillos.
Yes.
Uh, they're tomato. They're actually kind of a more of a primitive tomato. They have a husk on them.
What?
Yeah, they don't turn red. They just stay green. They're called a husk tomato. That you have to peel the skin, the husk off of it. It's a
How
Spanish
do you,
tomato.
well, how do you know when it's ripe?
I can tell by the size of them.
Oh, well, do they taste like tomatoes?
Have you ever had chili verde?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you ever get the green chili verde, it's probably made with these type of tomatoes. They're called
Oh,
tomatillos or tomatillos.
I wonder if we could grow them here.
You can. I'm growing them, and I'm pretty high altitude here, and so
Wow.
I'm
I
I'm
mean,
more north. I'm a little more north than Wiz is, I think, latitude wise. Uh,
I think I think I'm zone 5.
oh, really?
Yeah, 4 or 5. I'm kind of on the edge.
Well, pretty much everything what grows out your way grows here too. So,
Wow. I've never seen them. I might have to try them.
yeah, they're actually really good. Anyway, you make it with a green pork chili. It's what you use. And if you've ever had green taco sauce, look on the taco sauce bottle, and it'll
Okay.
say tomatillos in it. That's
Okay.
what one of the ingredients for green taco sauce too.
Learned something new.
Yeah, they're good fried up with some eggs, just like fried green tomatoes. I actually like fried green tomatoes, the regular tomatoes when they're green.
See, I haven't tried that either. I want someone to make them for me that's like really good at it, and I can, get an honest taste for it, not an experiment with myself.
Every time I eat them, I overdose on the iron.
Oh, I need iron.
Yeah, they're really high in iron, and yeah,
Green
I don't,
tomatoes?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Sure like them.
Gives me the
Wow,
shits.
TMI, Wiz.
Well, I'm just saying. All right, these
So,
boys.
so this is an old thing that my grandpa handed down to me. It's actually Scottish, and it's rain any kind of trout. Trout. This is breakfast, okay?
Okay.
Trout, fried green tomatoes, and fried zucchinis, all done in batter. And after you batter it all up and you start frying it and everything, you throw cheese on it, on everything. It's freaking awesome.
Oh,
It is
wow.
awesome. Oh yeah, that's
I,
breakfast, and you feel
I,
good all day after you eat it.
well, yeah, the protein and the vegetable. Yeah,
And the iron, like Wiz says, maybe that's why I feel so good when I eat them.
Right.
maybe. Well, look at Popeye and the spinach.
There you go.
Yep, see?
I eats me greens.
What's up, Sing?
How's it going, guys?
It's good. What's up
I'll
with
I'll have to leave now. Sing's up.
Yeah, I
I was
gotta
just
go.
gonna
Sing is here.
I was just gonna say shit, you guys will let anybody on panel now. Huck was here.
Huh? Ha ha.
So how's everybody been doing?
Good. I'm waiting for a call back from this one dirt hauling company. So I might be doing that, and if that happens, this particular company, I'll be working long ass hours and making some pretty good chump change.
I tell you what, hauling dirt, especially if they're hauling to like cement plants, it's amazing how bad the economy is that so many people are building. But I think they're building it now because they think it's going to get worse.
yeah?
Yeah, it is.
And
Oh, hey,
and,
Reagan. Hey,
and
Zach.
I'll either take that or a water truck job, whichever they want to offer me.
Nice. Either one. Is that truck driving belly dump or is it end dump?
Last time I worked for this, I did work for this company before, and it was and back then, what was it, like 2008 or so? I think it was 2008, maybe 2007 when I worked for them. I was bringing home more money than I'd ever made before in my life. So it's got to be better than what it was.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be some freaking, but this company's a real globalist company.
Uh, well,
They
one
gave,
good thing is minimum if you've got a CDL, you're going to be earning $20 to $25.
yeah,
Minimum.
I'll have enough money. Yeah, that's right. No, I'm going to be making more than that with these guys. I bring home the last time I worked for him, I was bringing home, I was doing a lot of hours too. I mean, I was working long hours, but last time I worked for him, I was bringing home roughly close, somewhere around $1,800 a week.
Nice.
Yeah.
I bet they pay more now.
Worst thing about it is if I did the truck driving, full time, I'd make roughly 1,800, 2,000 a week. But then your taxes go up, and I'm unmarried, and I have no dependents. and my tax rate starts jumping brackets when I start doing that.
Well,
So I start getting nailed worse.
what's motivating me to get my ass into a job like that is they just jacked up my rent over $200 a month.
I don't blame you.
So, yeah, it's
Jimmy Kirk says the current home starts are from 6 months ago. No new financing due to the recent interest rate hikes. But buildings are going full bore. Builders.
actually building materials are dropping. They're already starting.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So,
They're
You
gonna.
cannot find a carpenter. I tell you what, if you swing a hammer, it is a worker's market, not an employer's market right now, because they cannot find people that can swing a hammer, that can drive a truck, it is an employee market for the job market right now.
Isn't that interesting? And we got all these people living in freaking tents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're all in the take. They're living in tents.
I've got a destroyed back, and I'm working double just trying to take advantage of it. So yeah, but like I tell everybody, I'm not doing this for my own benefit. I'm doing this so in 5-10 years I can relax and just work a little bit just to pay what I need to pay.
Well, see, another thing too is I'm over 60. I'm getting close to Social Security, and the more money I make before I start to draw it, within the last 6 years is what they base it on. And if I make more money, I'll get more Social Security.
Nice.
I think it's 6 years or something like that. I can't remember. So, yeah, you hit it real hard just before you got to take out Social Security, and then you go apply for it, and whatever you were making, they base it on that. They kind of base it overall, but also on what you were recently earning.
right.
So,
see, I'm hoping I don't need it because I don't think it's going to be there for me anyways, but I'm hoping I don't need it anyways.
It'll be there.
Yeah, I'm 45. I got 20 some years left.
It'll be there for probably another 40 years.
Think so?
Yeah, and then it'll be gone. Actually, if we don't stop with all this immigration and everything that's going on, this illicit immigration, illegitimate immigration, we won't have Social Security. That's a fact.
Colonel Shaw in the house. Salute.
Because
I agree.
That's draining the Social Security fund.
Oh, it is. It is. And I'm not anti-immigrant. I love immigrants. That's what we all are. But the thing is that I'm anti-illegal immigrant, where they come over and boom, they get housing assistance. They get all this stuff that when we've got homeless people and you're giving millions of illegal immigrants free housing, something is wrong.
Everything is screwed up because the Democrats are running the show right now.
Right.
Everything is screwed up. So even veterans, if I go to the VA or whatever, they won't even fix my teeth. But if you want a gender reassignment surgery, they have no problem with that. But I can't get my freaking teeth fixed.
Jeez.
Yeah, is that crazy? And they'll even give you voice therapy. And they'll give you hormone blockers. They'll give you all that stuff. They'll even help you dress to the gender that you want to be.
That's twisted.
One of the 400 genders, I guess now. I don't know how many it is. It's a lot.
That's about right, I think. Yeah.
That's some crazy stuff there. I think it's time to open lobotomy clinics.
Yeah.
Return to electroshock therapy.
Electroshock. No, the electroshock was what they do to knock you out before they do the lobotomy. No, it was. I looked it up. They would shock you. They would shock you to the point of unconsciousness, and then they would do the lobotomy. And they just take a spike and stick it right in the orbit of your eye, and they stir up the brain matter in your frontal lobe.
Does
That's
it
the
work?
old. It doesn't work. I know it doesn't work.
Okay.
It did in some cases, but what it really does is it maims people. It doesn't make them more docile or anything. It just makes them into an invalid.
Didn't they do that to Kennedy's one daughter?
Yep, they sure did.
Because they were embarrassed about her, so they thought they'd fix her, and they made her worse.
Yep. She didn't live very long after that either, I don't think.
I can't remember.
She was an invalid.
Yeah.
She was all twisted up and contorted and everything.
Oh.
It's horrible. But I think we do need some kind of like asylums or something for them. More than just a clinic. Some of them actually need a place to go and live and stay and get therapy on a 24/7 basis.
Hey, Shaw.
Well, I don't know what they do out there, but they closed all our state hospitals and just said, good luck, see you later.
Oh yeah. How you doing, Colonel Shaw?
Yeah, God said, let there be rain, and the garden gets watered. That's what I'm doing today, just letting them rain, letting the water, fall in the garden. And the whoopies.
15 new houses in the process in this little town.
Oh, really?
They started breaking ground in the last couple of weeks. 15 in a
How
town
many?
that's had 500 people for 40 years.
How many houses do you think there is in the whole town?
Probably a couple hundred total, if that. Probably 150.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of houses all at once.
Yeah, for this little town. Yep. Yep.
Why is that?
It's a small community, and they're able to buy lots from anywhere from 20 to 30,000. And we're within 20 minutes of a town of about 20,000 people. So,
What is that?
People are-
Sydney, Nebraska?
no, I'm within about 20 minutes of Sterling, Colorado.
Sterling.
It's
Okay.
it's about the same size as Sydney.
Sydney's actually grown a bit.
Yeah, that Cabela's left and hurt the people that live in that county hard. My sister doesn't live in Sydney, but she lives in that county. Their taxes skyrocketed after Cabela's left.
After they left?
Yeah, Cabela's was pulling in so much revenue in taxes and stuff of that for the county that they were pretty much able to maintain everything. Had the real
but
fancy roads, highways.
But you're
And
saying
now
they closed it?
They've got the Cabela's. They've got the Cabela's there. But when Bass Pro and Cabela's merged, they closed down the corporate office because you see, Sydney was the main corporate hub of Cabela's, and they closed that down, and it ended up getting rid of like 1,200 jobs or something like that.
Yep. I don't think. I went to Bass Pro Shop. Well, a Cabela's that they're calling Bass Pro Shop, trying to find stuff for my lure making project, right? And they didn't have anything. And I'm like, your Bass Pro Shop? You know?
Yeah.
That, like, I couldn't find split rings. You use split rings for lures and for attaching hooks and stuff to them. I couldn't find split rings. I couldn't find split ring pliers. I wound up getting these weird little freaking fly fishing split ring pliers. And
Right.
yeah, they just didn't have any of that kind of stuff. They didn't have bullet weights. And I'm like, you guys were, started out as being a fishing company,
Yep. And now they don't
Bass
have
Pro
any of
Shop.
it.
And now they don't have a lot of the fishing stuff. They just don't have it. I find more of what I need on Amazon.
Right. This might tell Diesel where I live. I won't say exactly where I live, of course, online. I don't think anybody should, but Diesel, I live in the little town that there's a lot of really nice little houses. It's a very clean town because a lot of the little towns around here are kind of cluttered. You got like Billy Bob with 20 cars in his backyard in a lot of towns. Well, this town isn't like that. It's just a small community, been a small community for years. But the people aren't uppity. They're really nice. But now we're getting a lot of the people from the Front Range that see this little town and they're real uppity. So, they think they're all that, and it's changing the dynamics of the town. Like two of my neighbors, I talked to them today. I cut down that other tree, and I was talking to them today, and they expect to be selling within the year. It's like, crap. And it's a nice little town. I really like this little town, but I don't want my taxes to skyrocket like they're starting to.
So Diesel lives close to you.
Yeah, he lives probably I'd say about 40 minutes from me.
You guys should hang out and have a barbecue or something.
Yeah, we were going to. I was going to go take a look at that old school at one time up in a town he lives in. It's a really cool old school, but somebody bought it.
I could see you, Miriam, and Diesel all having a barbecue up there.
Miriam's in Missouri,
Yep.
isn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's about 2 hours from me.
She could
Yeah.
always go back to Colorado.
I was thinking about Nebraska for a while, and I changed my mind because they say, yeah, you could get the land cheap, but you'll make up for it on taxes within 5 years on the difference in land.
Well, Huckleberry went silent on us.
Just letting you guys talk.
Why?
But
Interesting.
Oh.
But I am looking at some land in Wyoming because the land up there right now is really cheap.
Why don't you move out west, Huckleberry?
Well, if I was 2 hours from Wiz, I'd be there right now.
Would you?
Yeah. He needs some pies.
And fried chicken.
Yep.
There you go. He does need pie.
I've never been out west. I've been no further in Pennsylvania than, what is it? Philly is on that side.
So what you're saying is you need
Or
a Greyhound
Pittsburgh.
ticket? You need a Greyhound ticket? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been south, but I've never been west. Am I missing it?
West is where it's at. That's cattle country.
Yeah, you're missing it. There's a lot of sights and smells and everything that you'd miss if you never get to see it.
Well,
Yeah.
you want some barbecue? I can hook up some barbecue. That's my specialty. Anything with a grill. Yeah.
The grill master.
Yeah, I can even make biscuits on a grill.
Like the smell of rain on sagebrush on a hot summer night. That's
Oh,
something. It
that sounds.
smells so it smells so good.
When it rains here, it smells like worms.
In Oregon, it smells like forest when it rains.
It just smells like wet here.
No special scent there.
Depends on what you're close to. If you're close to the dogs, it smells like wet dogs.
Yeah.
If you're close to the garden, it smells like a wet garden.
So,
And
oh my bad.
then we got that high country, a lot like the high mountains up in Colorado. We got the high country, forested areas too. Big, huge mountains. So there's that, which is really beautiful.
Yeah, the hills out east that they have and they think are mountains are nothing. If you want to see mountains, go to Utah, Colorado, Wyoming.
Yep.
Go through those areas.
Oh, yeah. I've seen pictures and it looks beautiful.
When
Yep.
you look at
When
it, you look at it from an aerial view, it looks like a big giant wrinkle in the middle of the country.
Oh,
Yep.
cool.
And if you want to say mountain, it ain't a mountain until there's a bald top on it from the mountain ridge or from the tree line ridge.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
We've got mountains like that they're so high that trees don't even grow. It's called the timberline.
Yep.
When you get past the timberline, it's just all nothing alive there. Just snow and ice.
And those are the points that if you're hiking up there, you need to bring oxygen with you because your lungs literally start breaking down when you're up at those points so high.
Do you know how they stock the lakes up here? We started
Helicopter?
airplane. We started it.
Oh, wow.
We were the first state to start stocking lakes with aircraft, helicopters
Nice.
too.
Yep. I know they do some here with helicopters.
Yeah, they do there. They do now, but we're the ones that pioneered that.
Nice.
They say it doesn't even hurt the fish.
Well, and there's so many of these that you can barely get a vehicle to them, let alone a truck full of stocking fish.
Oh yeah. I go everywhere I go. I can tell if something is a hiking trail or a deer trail. I mean, we've got all kinds of wildlife trails. You go up in the mountains and you'll see them, and you know when there's wildlife there. I mean, I actually get up in the scrub oak, and I could hear deer before they hear me. That's
Nice.
where I do. That's where I do my bow hunting. Is up in the scrub oaks. Now, what scrub oaks are, Huckleberry? They're an oak tree. It's
Yeah.
just they're not a very tall tree. They're just scrubby, scrubby oaks.
Oh, wow.
Colonel Shaw, only mountains we have here are the Dutch girls' boobs.
Really, really dense underbrush.
That sounded weird.
What?
Went good with the comment though, but
Oh, okay.
that went good with Shaw's comment.
Pigs.
Oh.
Oink, oink.
Ragged, I am 3,500 foot taller than you. He's at 750 foot.
Oh, that's cool.
Well,
wonder
Ghost, what lives in the shrub there? Like, what animals like to hide in there?
Everything, but mostly what I find up there is deer. There are cats up here. not house cats. The kind that you got to be careful about. But there's a lot of deer up in the scrub oak. Sometimes I'll see elk. Elk are a little higher up.
Hmm.
Uh, so the scrub oak it goes up to about uh, 6,500 feet above sea level. I'm
Hmm.
right now. I'm at 4,500 feet, and they go about 6,500 feet, and then it starts turning into like pine trees and oh, we have like golden silver maple and box elder trees and things like that. Yeah,
Mm, okay.
aspens, quaking aspens, just like Colorado has huge
Oh yeah.
stands, huge stands of quaking aspen. They look a lot like a birch.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like birch. I like the bark a lot.
They look like a birch, but they're not a birch. They're, in fact, these trees are like one big organism. They'll have roots and they'll send sucker roots way out, and then they're all connected by a root system. It's just, and that's where all the elk and moose are in there, bears are in there. Most of the wildlife is in the aspens.
That's why
Mm,
you'll
okay.
see, like, if one aspen gets sick, you'll see a big area, almost a circle, that's
Yeah,
dying.
right.
Oh,
And
that's
And
the
there's
root
clumps of
system.
three all the time. It's weird how they come up.
they're called quaking aspen because they make a sound like rushing water because of the shape of their leaves.
Hmm.
So when you're in the aspen groves, it sounds like you're near a river all the time.
Oh, that's gotta sound nice.
Yeah, it's like
And
Fire in the bowl.
it and it's actually, hey Jen, it's actually a big deal. I'm sure Bill's used to this too. There's people come all over from around the world to watch the aspen leaves change.
yeah.
It's a big deal in these states around here.
But we got a pretty big following for fall change too.
Nice.
Yeah, Jen. I'm not totally baked, but half baked. Fire.
Missouri, I used to drive a truck through Missouri in the fall. It is beautiful. Missouri is beautiful. I know Pennsylvania is too.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous.
the the countryside of all those states over there in that really wooded area, I loved it driving through there. Where you're driving down the interstate and you literally can't see the other side of the interstate because there's trees going down the center on every side of you. And I I thought that was the coolest thing.
Well, this whole continent is it's a beautiful continent to live on. We're very fortunate.
Yeah, it's
We
pretty
are.
awesome.
And unfortunately, in this big area that we're living in, Bill, I think we're hurting. And do farmers there, do they still do cover crops? The ones here stopped.
Over here,
Yeah.
cover crops. What are you talking about?
Like here they'll rotate. They'll do wheat one year, nothing the
Oh,
next year,
yeah,
and
they
then
do
wheat.
here. Yeah, they do.
They just started leaving it either fallow here or they leave it the stubble. They don't
We're a
put any type
li-
of cover crop on it.
well, we're a little bit different than you in that respect. You guys are actually high plains, and
Right.
we're called a high desert over here. So when you start getting up toward Idaho and everything, you'll find a lot more dry farmers that farm stuff like wheat and all that. We do raise a lot of alfalfa here. Same thing
Okay.
with Wyoming, for feed for horses and cattle and everything.
Never, Colonel. You gotta be drinking all day, Huckleberry. Off and
Well,
on.
here
But
we're going
this
to be the high desert here pretty soon too if they don't start going back to cover crops because it just bakes the ground.
This area where I live at one time was all orchards, and this it also part of the area over here was onion farms. They had lots of onion farms, and they exported it. Their idea, Utah being so isolated from the rest of the country like it is, uh, the idea that they had was to overproduce so that we had a GDP for our state that was greater than what we used. So the farmers, and I found out recently in all due respect to Wiz, Missouri now is the second largest agriculture state in the United States, next to Texas. How's that for you?
There you go.
We once were an big time agricultural hub. We have, I know where the old onion warehouse is and everything, where the train would go through and take onions north and south and east and west. I mean, it was, and then Idaho just above us is the potato state. We did the onions, they did the potatoes,
Wow.
and Washington now probably beats everybody in onions because they've got the Walla onions. Oh my gosh, they're the best in the world. Washington State Walla onions. They're so sweet. And if you've ever had onion rings made with them, I'm telling you, they just melt in your mouth. They're so good.
This area is good for pasture land and wheat. That's about what its best things are. There's a lot of corn growing because it's ethanol crap, and they make a lot of money off of it. But
we don't grow much corn. We do grow it, but not much. Not anything like Nebraska does.
Oh, Nebraska's got corn everywhere, but they've got that dark, deep, fertile soil up there. It's not as sandy as here.
That's kind of sad too, because the native grass that originated in the prairies of Nebraska was the highest protein grass in the world, and it's called blue stem grass. And they used to feed it to cattle, and I'm telling you, you'll bulk up some cows, and that's why the bison got so huge, was because of that blue stem grass that grows in Nebraska wild. I mean, it's native to there, nowhere else in the world.
Oh yeah, that bison migration path came right through all of this area.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Well, they had bison in Illinois and Missouri and everywhere. Used to be bison roam free across this continent.
Yep.
Well, for the most part,
What's that?
Mostly the Western High Plains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I was living up in Illinois, there's a state park that I used to go to kind of get away from everything. It was called what was it called? Starved Rock State Park. And all the bikers would go there. They'd go on their runs to Starved Rock. Well, I went there, and they have like a plaque, and it explains how bison, huge herds of bison ran through there, down south through Chicago, and they were in Minnesota. There was huge herds running across Minnesota and Ohio and all over. Council Bluffs.
Yeah.
Huh?
I was asking Jen if she caught any fish. I saw her; she was fishing last I saw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I bet her fishing is a lot like Alaska. I would think. I don't know.
Well, she's ocean side, so.
Yeah, but she's far north.
Yeah, Newfoundland. Yeah.
Yep. She's
one
almost
of my favorite. There's not much to it, but one of my favorite fish is the ice crappie that we have off the streams coming off the snow melt up here in the mountains. They're little crappie, but man, they're good.
There are some really good fishing holes that I know about in Colorado.
Yeah, the best ones are the ones that no one else knows about, but there's still some that just the locals, the people that have lived there their whole life, they know about. And the good thing is there's still some of them that are not easy to get to that a lot of the tourists don't go to.
Well, and that's where you're going to find fish called natives,
Yeah.
and they might be a rainbow trout. I caught a beautiful native one time in a river where nobody went, and I just no signs of debris and stuff from people having fish there or anything, and it was up north of me. Anyway, I caught this native rainbow. I'm telling you, this sucker was big. It had a big beak on it. Even it was a male.
Nice.
Big, yeah. So you're not going to see that with planter fish that come out of a hatchery. They
Oh, no.
they got
Most
to
of those
be
are brown
a few.
trout.
Yep, and they're going to be several generations before they become a native. They just call them a native for that, and their meat is like really, really reddish pink. It's not. It's not light pink or white like a. I mean, they taste different. They're just way better. And if I could get back up there, I'll do it. But the gas to go up there is expensive.
Jen says she's trying for sea trout.
Nice.
Huh?
Jen Nature was saying she was fishing for sea trout.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there you go.
I think, and this might sound braggy again about Colorado, but when you catch off of some of those melt rivers, off the snow melt and the
Right.
glacial melt, and you catch those rivers and it's all they're going across is rock, granite, whatever, the clearest rivers and the clearest lakes. I mean, you look down, you can see the bottom even at the center of a lake that's 50 foot or more down, and you could see everything down there. When the fish come out of those lakes, they are so good.
Well, where I was telling you that they would drop fish from airplanes and helicopters, that's
Right.
usually up in the Hyena Primitive area. That borders with
Yep.
Wyoming. And those mountains up there, they're hard to get to. I mean, you're not going to be able to drive there in a regular vehicle unless you got four-wheel drive or a side by side or something to get up there, or hike, which is what I do. I just hike up there. But they're miles and miles and miles, and there's places up there that don't look like there's ever been a human. And they call it a primitive area because it is. It's primitive, and they've got everything that Montana's got or any of these other states in that primitive area. And it borders with the Paiute Reservation.
Yep. You know what a notchback road is then, where it just goes back and zigzags up a mountain.
A what?
A notchback road.
You talking about a switchback?
Switchback, my bad. Switchback road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Switchback road. Yep. There's some of those trails like that up here. They're just wide enough for like a four-wheeler. And if you've got two people on that four-wheeler, the one in the back has to climb up the little switch area because you've got to stand on your pegs on the four-wheeler, lean over your handlebars. By the time you get to the top, you're almost vertical again.
See, that's why I don't like bigger motorcycles, because a smaller motorcycle, like my little 250, I can get up those trails and on those switchbacks and everything, and
Yep.
and I can even turn around on them a lot of times where any other type of off-road vehicle can't do that. I
Yep.
don't have to go 1,000 miles to go find a place to turn around,
Right. Yeah.
And
And these is, you could turn around that four-wheeler, but even on a four-wheeler, you're doing like a 20-point turn to turn around. And going down, you don't go down face first. You go down backwards even on the four-wheelers.
Oh yeah.
But it gets
Some
a
of
little
them.
creepy the first couple times you do it, but once you get used to it, and to explain to everybody in chat, these are the areas Bill and I are talking about. These are the areas where the tree is almost vertically perpendicular to the hill you're going up. There's some steep areas, but there's lakes in between the mountain peaks.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Max.
Hey, Max.
I need to say hi to some people. Hi, Jen. Hi, Bruce. And hi, Max.
Hey, Bruce.
Don't come in here and start telling me what to do. You lurker,
you
you
got
can't come in and act like that.
You got the box.
Lurky, lurky.
We don't know,
Okay.
Ragged. There's high salmon on right now. Seriously. I blame Bill.
It's human nature. Everybody in chat wants to tell you what you're doing wrong, but when they're up here, they're perfect.
Yeah. I've been picked on all day by people, so I don't need no more abuse.
At work or what?
No, friends.
Oh, and
Nope.
chats.
Nobody should ever pick on the lady
kinda.
with the pies.
Huckleberry, what type of dirty chats are you doing?
I'm not telling.
Yeah.
You'll go over and mess it up.
Yeah, see, you don't repeat gossip around here. You got to listen close the first time.
I wouldn't want to piss you off, Huckleberry, because I don't want to break the pie supply chain.
Yeah, don't make me mad.
I don't think I've completely pissed Huck off. I've got her irritated. I pretty well pissed everyone else almost off, but
You can't piss me off.
yeah. Oh, I could. I won't, but trust me, I could.
Yeah, and you'll get it back. Max, get up here if you're gonna mouth. Come on.
Aaron.
Hey, what's up, Aaron? Got your gold star.
Reminds me of an old saying, the perfect man and the ignorant man.
Me? What?
Aaron said that he's almost perfect. And there's some sayings about that.
I do not, Max. I do not. You probably sit down to pee. Little soy boy sits down to pee on his little padded commode seat.
He's got one of those little funnels.
Yeah.
He's got the padded fuzzy toilet seat.
Yeah.
Say it ain't true, Max.
Max, do you have to go into one of the multi-gender rooms to get your pads?
He won't reply.
He needs to come up here. Yeah, otherwise, we're just going to keep digging at him. He should know that by now.
I think he's probably trying to get in.
Remember George Carlin saying it's a special people's club or whatever, and you ain't in it.
Big club and you ain't in it.
Yeah.
Hi, Miriam.
Welcome in, Miriam.
Hey, Miriam. Hey, Elvis.
Did I say, hey, Elvis? I don't think I said hi to him.
Yeah.
This is where all
earlier. I was going to say that.
This is only cool people are allowed in this chat.
Right.
Of course, you come up, Ragged.
Only cool people. Only for coolness.
No, he started it. Oh man, I tell you what though, this is days like this has just got me all sideways though, because I can't get shit done outside.
Uh-oh, Miriam just showed up.
Yeah, Marion. Yeah, said
I
hello
know
to
what
me.
I know what you mean, Emerald. You got a billion things to do, and even though you accomplish something, it's like crap. You know, you think you could accomplish more, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That was yesterday. I busted ass, or was it yesterday or the day before? Either way, I lose track. But we went and got a load of wood chips, and then turned around and we got back with it, and I managed to get the potato row cut and shaped, and we got it mulched in, and then turn around and I got the onion rows cut and mulched. But by that time, I couldn't do any more because it was too dark to see.
yeah.
And then
I'm
today,
building.
yeah,
Oh, my bad.
no, go ahead.
I decided I'm going to build ridges. I'm taking our clay soil and then some of that sandy loam that I brought in. I brought in 10 yards. I'm going to build ridges to put my hedges on, and I'm gridding up my entire yard. Actually, I'm combining my yard and my mom's yard, and we're going to have it like hedgerows, kind of breaking different areas up.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
going to be a lot of hedge trimming, and then I've got that 35-foot by 140-foot run. That's nothing. It's going to be one big open area. It's going to be nothing but the garden, the greenhouse, and then the apple trees, orange trees, and then all the bushes. All the trees and bushes are there, which I goofed because when I took down that tree on accident, now I've got a crap load of apple trees sprouting and peach trees sprouting,
Nice.
and I don't have a place to put them. Just,
Oh shit. Well, make yourself a little grove.
yep. Heck, I've
Somewhere
already
up in the
got a
front. Yeah.
yeah, I already
Somewhere.
got a little what they call postage stamp orchard in a little
Yeah.
20-foot by 60-foot area. So I wish I had at least an acre, but I'm not even a half an acre on this lot. It's a big lot, but and I'm lucky it's oversized because actually there's 2 lots here, and most of them are like 1/5 of an acre, a typical lot. So I've got 2 of those.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I've got I think 0.40. So yeah, it'd be 2/5.
Well, you could always line a driveway.
Yeah, I actually I've got the back lot, so I can go right up to the edge and everything, and I enter from just one road. My mom's lot, she's on the corner, and I told her, I was like, your front yard might end up being part of the orchard. She didn't sound too amused because she's got like tulips and daisies and lilies and set up real nice. She was not, and she's got a big old area of I guess they're hard to grow around here because everybody's always wanting some, but they're called a Martha Washington.
Oh yeah.
Flower. Yeah.
Well, you could always make it like the inside the hedgerow. Just line it
Right.
with trees. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with something.
No, and you see, even I'm gonna try to get the hedge to go around. I'm starting out. It'll be a 3.5 foot wide of the willow hedge, and then just on the inside of that, I want to put the evergreen hedge. But the willow hedge will go quick. The evergreen will take long, so I'll get that immediate hedge, And then after it's done, then it'll be about 6 foot deep and hopefully about 10 foot tall total. Because with those cordless trimmers, actually, I could do a 6 foot deep and I could reach about 13 foot tall if I wanted to. And that's above me. So actually, 19 foot 4 inch or 19.2.
Oh, right.
And I want to get a little chicken coop. Still discussing with the town about that.
Yeah,
when you said on it,
about it,
my
as
bad.
long as you don't have a rooster, they'll let you have chicken.
Yeah. So far, that's it. It's just lining it with cement, their entire thing. I don't want to do that because I don't want to constantly be taking them in because their feet are all messed up from concrete. But it does help. Did Huckleberry leave? Yeah. I need to shut up for a while so everybody else can talk.
There she is. She's back.
I'm back.
Yeah, hit the wrong button.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Aaron. Is he there?
What is this, bloody Farmers Weekly? You're damn right. It's the season for it, brother. We grow things, getting it going. I'm so proud of these guys. When I first started talking about getting a garden, they're like, I ain't got time for that shit. A couple years ago, yeah. I just really think it's really cool. Everybody's getting interested in gardening now.
Took us all a long time because I picked all your guys' brains. You, Pat, everybody took us a long time to figure out how to do everything I wanted to do. But, we came up with a plan and it's starting to work.
Yeah.
In a small area. So it proves that anybody could grow what they need.
Oh, yeah.
But in a small area, you have to have it designated. I did find that out. You have to have every area designated and well planned out. You just can't start putting things places.
Yeah, it's got to be specific. Yeah.
Yeah. In the yard part, that's strictly ornamental. Hopefully, when all this stuff gets grown, it'll look like like it'll be my own little Eden escape.
Welcome in, Shadow Man.
Hey, Shadow Man.
Crazy Canadians.
What happened to Aaron?
He's trying to get in.
Okay.
Right. He's not connected properly. So.
Gonna go grab some orange juice. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I still got a place I got to get leveled out because I'm going to plant more even.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to try and get, well, my garden is kind of like a victory garden. It's not a big battery powered operation or anything, like somebody, but
It ain't battery powered. It's all straight muscle. Yeah.
What's that?
I said it ain't battery powered. I can tell you that.
No. I'm talking about battery. Battery's got like all these roll boxes. He went whole hog on his. He did a bang up job. I just don't have that much room,
Well, he doesn't have much room either. That's why he's doing the stuff that he's doing.
I've got less. I've got a lot less.
Oh, wow. Wow, because he only got about 10, 12 feet behind his house.
Well, I'm renting, I don't own the place that I live. I can't till up the whole damn yard. I get booted out of here.
Right. Now they already raised your rent, what you said.
if I were you, when you start making a bunch more driving truck, I would put as much of that away as you could, and I would buy something. You're like me. You can do all the construction work. Buy something cheap that needs to be redone, and while you're renting, redo that, and then by the time, within a couple of years,
I get you.
you'll
I
have it.
get you. I've tried it a few times, and a couple of times
Nice.
it didn't work out.
He
So
wants to buy a pirate ship.
I did find a pirate ship in San Diego.
Nice.
I did find one. It's only a 2-masted ship, but it's really cool. It's got the big poop deck and everything on it. Big old bowsprit. It's got like rope ladders that you can climb up to get up on the crow's nest and everything.
It sounds like a
$5
gas.
grand. $5 grand.
How long is it?
I don't remember the length of it. It wasn't a huge ship. It's a ship though, but it wasn't huge. It was probably like 30 something foot.
Oh, really? That's small.
All wood. All wood, just like a real pirate ship. All the same ornamentation and everything on it. I think the way it looked like you'd need a crew to man it. I don't think it'd be a single-handed sailing ship.
Right.
You'd need a crew. I'd need it looked like probably a crew of about 5, at least.
My ideal thing would be an island.
Well, do you know where to find them?
Actually, I get a newsletter about islands all over the world, anywhere from 15,000 up to millions.
Yeah.
Privately owned islands.
Yeah. There's a bunch of them in Florida, off the coast of Florida. Way down past the Keys, the Florida Keys. There's islands out there. There's so you'd be in the Caribbean. The other islands that I personally know about are up in Washington State. And I have a friend that's a pilot, and he wanted to buy this island because it actually had a runway for his plane.
Washington State has a crap load of islands, and they're solid rock islands, and they're high-clipped islands and very nice islands and very expensive.
Yep, Alaska too.
Yep. And Washington State, they don't get real cold. That's weird. As north as they are, they don't get as cold as we do here.
On the coast of Alaska, it doesn't either.
Nice.
I mean, it's a lot like Washington or Oregon, on the Alaska coast. When you get like down south of Anchorage, get down like in Ketchikan, Alaska. There's tons of islands down there, by the way, that you can buy.
They graze a lot of those islands. They're just large grazing things, and they move the cattle by tugboat and by ship.
Oh,
I saw that. That was pretty wild. That there's one big operation up there for sale. They own this big string of islands. It's like something like, I think it's like 8,000 acres total, and it sells you the tugs. It sells you the big carrier that the tug pulls and everything, and that's how they move the cattle. It is wild.
So there's that.
Island.
What's that?
Bracket's trying to insert that he lives on an island.
Yeah, it's a big ass island.
I bet. I think there's some islands that you could probably buy up in New Hebrides in the UK. New Hebrides has a ton of unoccupied islands.
Yeah, I know up in the Scottish areas, there's a lot of islands. Some of them still have like old castles on them still too.
Yeah. That'd be super cool. Or Shetland Islands, the Shetlands,
Oh, yeah.
or New Hebrides.
Australia's an island. Australia's a continent.
Too
Our,
bad Too bad we can't go past, what is it, the 40th parallel toward Antarctica.
someday there will be a lot of islands down there too, and a lot of mountains.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe so. Soon as that 150-foot ice wall melts.
Oh yeah, it'll be a few thousand years yet.
Yeah, maybe you can have a penguin farm or something.
What were the Democrats saying by 2020? That now they got to change it to 2025, and in 2025 they'll have to change it to 2030.
Right.
It's funny because on the stock exchange, somebody was just talking about it. They were saying the stocks that are being sold right now do not reflect climate change.
Okay.
And a lot of the people that are buying the stocks are the people that are pushing climate change. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and so many of these elites buying their islands, if they were seriously concerned about all this, rising so quickly and all that, they would not be buying it. Granted, a lot of them are buying up here too, so who knows?
Hey, y'all, I'm gonna take off. I'm about falling asleep, so I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, I guess.
Fallen.
Okay.
Take care, Huck.
Okay, good night, Huck.
Wake up.
Sweet dreams, Huckleberry.
Good night.
Thanks for coming up.
Next victim.
Hey, Screaming Eagle, what's up, buddy?
No, but my sister, she's a liberal. She lives in California. She lives right close to the beach in Santa Cruz, California. And she is a liberal, okay? And she is trying to tell me that the ocean water's been rising and now they can't get into certain coves and things like that because the ocean water is rising so much. That's what she's telling me.
It's of course it's been rising. I mean, but it's not as much as they say, or it's not as extreme as they say. Because let's face it, we're coming off the last ice age still with our polar caps frozen. And sooner or later, it's going to get to where everything's melted. And then we'll go for a spell with nothing and hot temperatures. And it'll be very humid all around the world because even less land is showing. And then we'll go into an area to where it'll go through a cooling again. It's people forget about these, these cycles that the Earth goes through.
Cycles. Yeah.
Well, you're right, and there's proof that the northern Arctic actually had wildlife living up there and lots of greenery, and it's totally covered in ice right now. But now that some of the ice is melting, they're able to find. I mean, they found woolly mammoths up there, and they found lots of greenery in the stomachs of the woolly mammoths. They were so well preserved because of the ice. So I saw a bunch of stuff on that too. At one time that was all tropical. At one time,
Oh yeah, there's places
and when
even in
the ice age
Siberia that are melting and they're finding stuff like that in.
hit, it was pretty sudden. It actually hit really fast. Nobody
Yeah,
knows what caused it.
there was some of the like the woolly mammoths and other animals that were still digesting food and froze.
That's what I'm
as
saying.
They digested food.
Right. Exactly. So they found stuff in one of the woolly mammoths that they found in the stomach contents that were still very green and everything. I mean, it wasn't like, it was so decayed or digested. It was not even really digested, and it was still pretty green. The ice age hit suddenly.
Right. And I know, there's been speculation of another meteor strike somewhere that caused something or, but we really don't know. Like you say, it just happens so quick.
And when the mini ice ages hit, they also hit suddenly. We've had several mini ice ages too. So it is cyclical.
Was the last one in the 1400s or the 1600s? I can't remember. Was it the 15th or 17th
Actually,
century?
there was one around 1812. And they think it was because of Krakatoa. Krakatoa went off and caused a mini ice age because of the ash clouds. So,
well, if the sun gets blocked, it doesn't take much to start cooling everything real quick.
Right.
Yep.
So, and don't get me wrong, I believe that everything we do affects the climate. I believe okay, we're adding stuff, but plant more trees. Don't worry about control. I mean, we should always strive to be better, of course, but you can't ruin economies to do it. And we should be worried about the natural filters we have, like the ocean health and our forests and stuff like that. There's areas around here that I truly think they should be planting trees like crazy. It's state-owned or federally owned land that just sits there.
So they've got very intact DNA. If they wanted to create woolly mammoths again with DNA and elephants, they could easily do it. They could easily do it because they've got very intact woolly mammoth DNA.
Didn't they already basically clone a tree, that Dawn redwood? They took old prehistoric DNA and mixed it somehow with the redwood species we got now, and they've got like what's called a Dawn redwood.
I don't know. But what I do know is that in order to get viable DNA, it has to be tissue. It can't be mitochondrial DNA. I mean, the tissue will have mitochondrial DNA in it. So what they did with some of these creatures they were thought about cloning was try to get tissue samples from the roots of the teeth. And they said that was very viable DNA. And I think they have samples of it. They actually have tissues that are not very old from woolly mammoth DNA. From the teeth.
So basically, and I could be wrong because sometimes the obvious isn't quite as obvious as you think, but you would think they're related to modern day elephants. So I wonder if they would have to use an elephant to trigger that process.
Yeah, that is what they would do.
Yeah.
They inject the DNA into spermazoa or something like that, or into an egg.
Yep.
Yeah, and start to propagate it that way.
That would be interesting. Worries me about messing with nature like that, but it would be
A lot of
interesting.
elephants, a lot of the DNA, from what I was reading, was very similar. Woolly mammoth wasn't the only type of elephant that was there. There was another one. I can't remember what it was called. It wasn't a woolly mammoth, but it was a
Mastodon.
I couldn't
It
hear
was
you.
called Mastodon.
Mastodon. Thank you. Yes, and that was the one they found in Mexico. They were excavating for an airport near Mexico City, and they found mastodon. They found fossils of mastodons. I don't know how intact they were. Yep, in Mexico City, in Mexico City. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh! Imagine hunting mastodons.
Where you going, Eagle?
Hey, good night, Screaming Eagle.
Yeah, take care. I get a kick out of it that these people complain to us about driving our big pickups, and then they've got their apartment air conditioner kicking heat out like crazy into the atmosphere, and they're keeping their apartment in who knows where, running a crap load of electricity that comes from coal, by the way, and using all that up, kicking heat out and everything in the middle of like Arizona or something or like that. And then they complain about my pickup that I use for work.
Now, there was a governor who was the governor of Wyoming who built the biggest sailing ship ever built. I just discovered this today. I was, looking up on some ships. This ship had 7 masts, and they were all spinnaker type sails. Spinnaker sail it's that triangular looking sails, and it was the biggest ship, and it was for hauling coal, and it was built out of pine, and they named it the Wyoming, and it served as a coal hauler for a lot of years. Yeah, and then it sunk somewhere, and I didn't get all the information on where it sunk and why it sunk, but at that time Wyoming needed coal, and they launched it out of Maine. I believe it was Maine.
How'd they get
That's
it
a
to
long
Wyoming?
haul.
Built from pine, Wyoming pine.
How'd they get it to Wyoming?
They didn't get it to Wyoming. It was just named the Wyoming, and it was the governor of Wyoming that financed it.
Oh.
It's one of the most elite ships that was ever built. Look it up, the Wyoming, and it was a beautiful ship. I mean,
I
see
believe
the huh?
But I believe you, because back in the day, a lot of these states, when they were new states, had a lot of ventures like that, to where they would do their own, kind of like the business on the side, like shipping. I mean, Colorado, I'm sure, had a few ships out there hauling for people that just increase revenue for the state.
Well, they said that this ship that was built there was so much integrity by the governor of Wyoming. Even the crew quarters were as nice as the first mate and the captains. So even the cruise quarters were just really well done. It had all the amenities of that day. Back in the 1800s.
Right. I think he thought it meant that Maine needed it and Wyoming just they built or put forth the money to build the ship so they could earn the money going to Maine.
They shipped a lot of the coal. It was to bring in revenue for the state of Wyoming and for the governor and for it was to benefit Wyoming.
Yeah, the coal itself didn't go to or from Wyoming on a ship. It was it was just the revenue helped the state or the governors. The governors themselves made a crap load of money off of that by using taxpayer dollars to build those usually.
Well, the point is about the ship. It was the largest wooden ship ever built, and hardly anybody ever talks about it. There's all kinds of history on the Cutty Sark and all these other ships, but this ship was the largest ship ever built, and it was a coal hauler.
Nice. It is interesting with some of the ships out there. Take care, battery. No water big enough. Yeah. No. Okay. We're beyond that.
No battery. Yeah, we got about 9 minutes. I'm gonna bring her down. Unless you want to hang out, sing.
No, I should crash too. I gotta be up early.
They said it was to the exact dimensions of Noah's Ark.
Bruce, it was called the Wyoming.
Look it up. The Wyoming, not USS. It was just called the Wyoming.
Yeah, man. Just
some of us sleep ragged. Said it's 6 a.m. there.
Yeah, his day's just getting started. But yeah, today's been a really kind of crazy, lazy day. We're supposed to be raining off and on tomorrow again, too.
And they said when they loaded this ship, the bow of it would dip down further in the water, and when they unloaded it, it would be like it was arced upwards. It flexed.
Oh, wow.
Warehouse dwellers trying to figure out how to get into the up on the screen, I guess.
Oh, hey, warehouse. All right, hold on. Let me get you a link.
He's going to give you a link. Click on the link and just follow the prompts and go through StreamYard and come in.
Hey, we got Mikey B comes in every once in a while and stuff like that.
And then somewhere, if you're on a phone, it'll tell you how many windows you've got open. It should only be one, and it should be the one to get on the stream.
John Smith says in March 1924, she foundered in heavy seas and sank with the loss of all hands.
The Wyoming?
Yeah. I think that's what he's talking about, yeah.
Probably overloaded it. It was the biggest ship ever built. It was exactly the same dimensions. Because the guy was the governor. He was a Christian. He wanted to build it to the biggest ship possible for coal, and he built it to the dimensions of the Ark, Noah's Ark. Which
Imagine all the Spanish gold and Spanish silver that was lost throughout all the years of the conquest, when they were shipping the gold and silver to either the Americas later on or early on back to Spain. There were so many ships lost. Imagine all the gold and silver though that's all over the ocean bottom.
Yep, Bruce Wayne got it. He got it. He found it. I think the crew was more than 14. It was the biggest ship ever built, so it had to have a lot more than 14 crew.
It's weird 1924 that they were still sailing. I thought a lot of that would have been steam.
You know, a lot of the ships that got decommissioned that were sailing ships was because of World War II. Because our ships, our merchant ships, were being sunk by German U-boats and freaking Japanese torpedo subs and everything. So a lot of those sailing ships actually got sunk. And the ones that didn't, they dry docked them and kept them in port because it was too dangerous. But they still had an advantage, because they ran off of sails. And supposedly, the Wyoming was as fast as a steamship. The way it was built, the sails on it, actually were able to collect more wind to drive the ship than other types of ships. The sail design was just, it was top notch. Everything on the ship was top notch.
Well, not only during World War II, but a lot of the channels around England and around the UK period during World War II, they sank a lot. And then other times throughout history to stop landings, England was notorious for sinking ships. There's probably a crap load because that was the quickest way to block some of those channels.
Right.
Big ships going through.
Exactly. The Royal Navy sunk a lot of private ships.
Yep.
And they act like, the pirates were the bad guys and they were fucking sinking ships like left and right.
Yep. If they were worried about some sort of invasion or something like that, they would sink all sorts of ships.
Yeah, if they had an excuse. They just need an excuse, and that they'll start sinking them.
Oh, a lot of those pirates were oftentimes also employed by England to go after the Spanish, or the Spanish to go after England, because there was a truce between the countries, but they used the pirates to get a lot of the gold. That's where the privateer thing came into play.
Right. Like Sir Edward Teach, Sir Henry Morgan, and so on and so forth. And the Spanish did the same thing. And what you got to claim your right to be a pirate, you got from a royal, from one of the nobility, something called a letter of marque, which made you a marquis. Cortez was actually deemed the Marquis of Oaxaca, Mexico. And that's where he died. He died in Oaxaca. of old age. Hernan Cortez.
Oh yeah, a lot of them had ulterior motives. And then some of them just did it to enrich themselves, but most of them usually weren't real wealthy themselves. And a lot of that is because they had somebody else higher above them, in my opinion, that they had to hand it off to, and they just got a small percentage.
Sir Francis Drake was every bit a pirate, as well as in the good graces of the Royal Navy.
I know there was several times where there was different captains that were called back to duty, like in the British Navy, the Spanish Navy, that were on their off time or whatever, or when there was no war, a lot of them were raiding ships, basically pirating. They were pirating. That's how
Did
it
you
all started.
know? Did you know that the Confederate Navy actually had submarines in the Civil War?
They were the cast iron. They weren't completely submerged though. What were those? Crap.
Semi-submersibles. Semi-submersibles.
Yeah. They're like iron. God, what the heck are those called?
Effectively, they were man-powered torpedoes.
Yep, they had torpedoes back then too. Semi-submersibles with torpedoes, which was good enough. They didn't have radar, so that was good enough.
It's just telling me the Hunley. That was the name of one of them. The Civil War was the first time what was, at that time it was considered a submarine. It was the first time a submarine sunk a ship.
Well, Bruce Wayne, his last comment, there's such a thing as too big when it comes to ships. U.S. Navy, when 90-foot swells toss a ship around like a bobber. That would be sailing around the Horn of Africa, for example. That's where the Flying Dutchman sank. The Flying Dutchman sank off there, and they still claim that they see the Flying Dutchman on occasion, the ghost ship. Another thing that we have that we've actually had destroyed and dismantled all along our shores has been lighthouses. We had some of the most beautiful lighthouses, and a lot of them are gone now. The majority of them are gone. There's a few left.
Yeah.
Ironclads.
Yep.
Took me a minute. They were the ironclads.
Yeah.
They were oak, but they were surrounded in iron, and they were like, most of it was underwater, but the top was above water. They had cannons on them where they could lift up a door and shoot the cannon, then close it again, and it was tapered in to where other cannonballs would just basically deflect off of it.
Is that a ship you're talking about?
Nope, that was a subs.
Oh, okay.
Well, you guys continue on. I'm going to go ahead and drop out. You guys continue on, and when you're ready to sing, just close it out, okay?
Right on. Yeah, actually, I'll probably shut her down. So I'll, Bill, it was good talking to you. Emerald, it was good talking to you. Chat. Sorry, guys, I got to get up early too, so I got to crash.
I got to go too.
Yeah, good luck with that job, Bill. Hopefully you get get it, and hopefully it works out for you. Emerald, do you want to do one more fire in the bowl before we head out?
Fire in the bowl. Hell yeah. Brought to you by Sausage Gravy Biscuit Farms.
.com.
Then, yeah. He
Oh.
went. Yeah, he already
There
went.
no. Yep.
Good night,
But-
Mary. Good night, Bruce. Good night, Ragged. Or good day, Ragged. Good day, Colonel Shaw, if you're still watching. Everybody that's still there, thank you for participating tonight. Love you. You're the best. God bless you. Fire in the bowl.
Hope everybody has a productive day tomorrow. I know I'm going to hopefully have a productive day tomorrow.
Don't get too much rain. It dries up enough. I'll be able to do planting, so I'll be happy about that.
Yeah, originally tomorrow and Friday were supposed to be sunny, clear, and now it sounds like we're going to get rain Thursday and Friday, which I'm not complaining because we've had cloud cover and a drizzle, but no more than like 1/10 of an inch of rain.
Hey, good night, Max. Good night, Zoom.
Right
Guys,
on. Take care, guys.
dream well, Patriots, and we will see you tomorrow night. Have a good
Take care.
one. God bless.